Houston visited their home state for the Dallas homestand weekend to do battle against the Seoul Dynasty. Houston began their attack on City Center with a great DPS-heavy team composition. Despite an early death from Jake Lion, Houston managed to take the point first and wouldn't lose it for the rest of City Center. Dante Cruz shined with his signature tracer and helped carry his team to a victory. Despite their victory on City Center though, Houston wouldn't be able to take any of their momentum from the first map victory onto Gardens. The Outlaws kept fans on the edge of their seats as they managed to steal the point back from the Seoul Dynasty in overtime and push the capture percentage into nearly full completion. However, the Dynasty managed to surge back and flip the point again to find victory on Garden. Unlike Houston, Seoul took their momentum from their victory on Garden and used it to find a rather convincing win on University. Jang Fitz Kim absolutely dominated the Outlaws with his excellent Zarya play. Houston couldn't find any momentum past their first push and would lose on University with only 14% capture percentage. The Seoul Dynasty won Oasis on a final score of 2-1. Seoul absolutely rolled over the team from Texas, where they managed to complete the entire map with over 5 minutes remaining in their time bank on Paris. Dante tried his best to hold up on defense, however, his teams couldn't piece together a team fight and give Seoul the quick map completion. Seoul kept rolling through Houston on their defense, but Austin Wilmot stalled out with his incredible play on Winston, allowing his team to take point A in overtime. Furthermore, Houston took point B again in the final seconds of the map. In round 3, Houston had their fans holding their breath as they would take point A in overtime. Seoul's massive time bank would simply prove too much for the Outlaws. The Seoul Dynasty won Paris on a final score of 4-3. The Seoul Dynasty continued to show their dominance as they would roll through Blizzard World at a blistering pace. Min Xiao Marvel Huang of the Seoul Dynasty proved his worth and showed that he is one of the best main tanks in the league, his suffocating and aggressive playstyle. Houston showed their willingness to try new strategies by playing a quad DPS team composition, with Shane Rockus Flaherty playing Hanzo. Despite not finding success with the new team composition, it's clearly a time to move forward for Houston. Seoul Dynasty won Blizzard World on a final score of 3-0. Houston was much more confident during their play in Rialto. The Outlaws pieced together really great teamfights around Dante's EMPs. In addition, Houston played a lot cleaner and used their ultimates efficiently despite their loss on this map. Seoul's aggression proved too much for the Outlaws. Marvel would have another incredible showing as he would utilize massive earth shatters and incredibly aggressive plays to throw the Outlaws off their game and pull out victory for this team. The Seoul Dynasty won Rialto on a final score of 4-3. Despite the scoreline, this Houston team looked much cleaner and had showed much better ultimate economy than their past weeks of play. If the Outlaws can continue to play with this level of communication and cohesion, they could find future success. In addition, it seemed that the team is moving closer to DPS-heavy team compositions on any style of map and are beginning to play somber goats with Dante at the helm. If the Texas team can keep improving, this team could be a fun group to watch in the future. The Seoul Dynasty swept the Houston Outlaws on a final score of 4-0.